This is Tommy Watt for TTT Boxing and IFL TV. I'm joined on the phone by Melbourne-based Aussie featherweight Ibrahim Balla, former Australian Commonwealth Games and Olympics representative, who's facing off with the undefeated Salim Mtango for the WBA Oceania Featherweight title in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries, thank you.
First off, start off with the usual easy one. How's camp been in the lead up to this fight?
Yeah, well, camp's been going pretty well. Been getting a lot of rounds with my old Victorian teammate, Jai Alexander, so which is good. Been putting a lot of hard rounds in with him, and yeah, training's going really well. Feel like I'm improving with every fight.
Excellent. And so I know you're scheduled to maybe come down to Sydney for some sparring, and so I know you often travel to get sparring. How hard do you find it to get good quality sparring here in Australia?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to, especially I'm based out of Melbourne. There's not many featherweights, lightweights, or whatever to spar with that are actually quality. So we normally make the move up to Sydney to move around with the boys at the Body Punch gym at the Saints, which always welcoming us down there, which is really good. So this time around we've used Jai, but hopefully next time we might end up in Sydney sparring some of those boys again.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and we can obviously catch up with you then. Now, coming into this fight, you're coming up against an undefeated fighter in Salim Mtango from Tanzania. First time you faced off with an undefeated fighter. Are you making any different preparations in terms of your mental game for this fight, or are you treating this exactly the same as any other fight?
I don't really like to think about my opponent. I just focus on myself and improving on my strengths and my weaknesses. And as long as I focus on myself and better myself, I feel like my opponents need to beat me at my best.
Yeah.
So they're trying to beat me. I'm not it's a weird mental state.
Yeah, and I mean he's first time fighting outside of Tanzania, so be a lot of new things for him, and so you'll be obviously fighting at home. And do you think that will play a part in, I guess, in the way he comes to the fight as well, maybe more as a challenger? Do you think he'll come in with that mentality, which will play into that tactic that you're talking about?
Yeah, well, he most like it's a vacant title, but yeah, he's stepping into my backyard, so I'll feel at home fighting out of Melbourne. So, that could play a part of it. But once the bell sounds, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You're in the boxing ring. So, I try not to think about things like that can persuade me mentally like that. I just like to focus on the job that I have in hand and try and do my best.
Yeah, absolutely. And the card you're fighting on, it's a Lynden Hoskin's card, and it's it's pretty strong top to bottom. Got the Moloney twins, Jai Opetaia, Michael Zerafa, all involved, and a great show put together. And I mean, shows like that are what really brings the fans and the interest in. And how important is it that shows like that are consistently put on, say, not just in Melbourne, but obviously around the country?
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, Lynden Hoskin has put on a great card once again. I think it's very important for the boxing fans, especially to have good quality Aussie fighters fighting. Good opponents. To bring back the sport of boxing back in Australia to the limelight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Australian scene is getting stronger and stronger, and even within your division, you mentioned Luke Jackson, obviously down at the Body Punch gym. Who's in your division? Joel Brunker's another big name there. Are you keen for sort of big domestic clashes further down the line?
I'm a fighter, so when you talk about opponents and stuff like that, like I'm willing to fight anyone, but Luke Jackson's a good friend of mine. He's been a teammate of mine for many years. Joel Brunker, he's helped me out with sparring once before. He's a gentleman. So it all comes down to business. Those guys that you were speaking of, they're very very nice guys, and have had a good record or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's all about it's all about business and what's better for me, and that's what my management has to look at.
Yeah, and you mentioned being teammates with Luke Jackson in that Olympics team in Australia in 2012 for the London Olympics.
Yeah.
You had Luke Jackson in there yourself, Damien Hooper, Jai Opetaia, Jeff Horn, obviously. When you look at that crop of fighters and you look at Jeff Horn beating Pacquiao, Luke Jackson chasing an Oscar Valdez fight. Hooper just had his big win over Salimov. Are you looking at those guys and using that as motivation for yourself and using that to push yourself forward?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, those boys have, they were in my team. I'm really happy for what they're doing, what they're achieving, and I just think it's about my turn pretty soon. So yeah, I'm striving for that as well.
Yeah, and I just think it just shows that the strength that that's growing on the domestic scene here. There's a lot of quality fighters around, which hasn't always been the case. And I think it's just showing how the sport is growing. And are you seeing that yourself? Are you seeing more guys turning up to the shows? Are you seeing more interest in the fights down in Melbourne?
Yeah, well, I think there is more interest coming down into the boxing. Especially when you have champions coming in, like say Jeff Horn now. He's an Australian world champion, which brings a lot of spotlight on boxing. And when you talk about boxing, people's ears perk up again. So I think that's really good.
Excellent. Well, look, I know you're probably keen to get off. I've just had a long day yourself, so look, we'll let you go. Wish you all the best for the rest of your camp. Everyone can follow you on Balla Boys Boxing on Facebook. And look, wish you all the best, mate. We'll maybe catch up with you after the fight and see how things are looking for the future.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Tom.
No worries, mate. Cheers.